how's it going, guys? What's up? What's up? I'm going to give YouTube a few minutes to notify people that we are live in the flesh. I want to welcome everyone who will listen to the replay and the podcast. And also, I want to tell you who I am in case you are new. I'm Kimmi, your number one notary educator, teaching notaries nationwide how to notarize like a pro and how to grow your business. What's up? What's up? So today I want to talk about some common documents that you will see in the apostille world. I want to talk about some common documents that you will see. Common documents that people are asking to be apostilled. Hey, Remix, what's going on with you? Yeah, some common documents. We're going to talk about what is an apostille and what are some common documents you will see today. So for many of you, you may not even know what an apostille is. I'm going to go ahead and get started because my time is a little limited today. But an apostille is a document that is leaving the United States. Hey, Nadabu, what's going on with you? Hello, hello. Where do you live? What county is this? Doesn't matter what county. Apostilles are nationwide. Okay. Apostilles is a nationwide, it's an international thing. So that's what we're going to talk about. So an apostille is a document, is a special authentication that documents are requiring before it can leave the United States. Okay. So for example, someone's getting married over in Panama or Costa Rica. They may have to have what's called a single person affidavit. Okay. So I'm going to start with, so that's what it is. So who issues this? It's going to be the people that, Remix, we're going to remove you from the channel. Okay. Hold on. Because I don't know if you drama or not, but you have to go. So we're going to get you out of here. Okay. Hold on one second, everybody. We're going to remove Remix because I think Remix is drama. Okay. We don't do drama here. Hey, guys. So, let's get rid of Remix comments. I do apologize for the delay, guys. But, sometimes you get these spammers. They don't have anything else to do. So, we got to get rid of them so we can get down to business. Okay, let's get to it again. So, an apostille is the authentication that goes on a document prior to it leaving the United States. And it's an agreement. So there's one or two ways to process, and I'm going to give you the short version on this because I want to really get to the document. So you can either process it as part of what's called the Hague, and that's an agreement that we have with other countries. It's like, hey, you take our documents, we'll take yours. Simple process. Or it could be a non-Hague where there are several steps in order to get it processed, okay? Remix is really still here. How can I get rid of you? Oh, hide user. There we go. There we go. He's saying he's really on 1 o'clock time, but I don't really care what time it is in Pakistan. I mean, not to be rude, but I think he's a spammer, whatever. So let's talk about what type of documents you will see in the apostille space, okay? So one of the most common requests you will get is a single person affidavit, okay? A single person affidavit. So your website and your state level may have some. Your client may already bring you this document. But what it is confirming that, hey, John Smith is single over here in the United States. He's trying to marry somebody over in Costa Rica. They need to make sure he's not polygamist. That he doesn't have a wife here in the U.S. He's trying to have a wife over in Costa Rica. He may have a wife over in Mexico. So he has to sign an affidavit, he or she, that they are single, that they are in fact single. Okay, so that's a very common document that you will see that needs to be apostilled. Okay, a second document. Hello, everyone. Welcome. A second document you may have that needs to be apostilled is a power of attorney. Okay, is a power of attorney. That is another document that needs to be apostilled many times over. Why would someone need a power of attorney apostilled? Maybe they're selling property over in another country and they live here in the United States. maybe they need some documents or like a birth certificate or something else from another country, but they're not living over there. Hey, Monique, they're not living over there. They can't fly back over there easily. So they actually need someone to do something on their behalf. Okay. So your number 2 document that you're going to see quite a bit of is a power of attorney. Okay. Your next document you're going to see a lot of is birth certificates. Birth certificates. Perhaps someone is trying to get dual citizenship. Okay. Dual citizenship. They want to be a citizen here, and then they also want to be a citizen over in Mexico or Jamaica. So they need proof of sometimes where the person was born. Okay. So you'll see a lot of birth certificates. All right. Another document you may see is driver's license. Driver's license. People are trying to prove their identity. Prove their identity. So you're, again, trying to do something over in another country. You signed a document. They're like, hey, we don't know that Mr. Smith signed this document. So they'll have you a copy, a certified copy of your driver's license. It has to be apostilled. Then they'll send that over with the document, and then the other country will say, hey, we'll accept this. Okay. What's another common document? A copy of your passport. Okay, these are the top 5. A copy of your passport. And again, the same reason. They're trying to identify who you are by means of by a different means, since you won't be there physically. Okay, so you won't be over in Mexico, but you got some business over there that needs to be handled. So those are some of the more common documents you will see. It could be any number of things that needs to be apostilled. The apostille process can be semi-easy depending on where the document is going. Okay, that's going to depend on the whole way you process it. Is the destination of the document. So I have a full apostille training. It is included in my mentorship program. If you don't want to do mentorship, though, you can buy the course separately. That's what many people are opting to do because they may already know how to properly notarize documents. The course is on sale for 60% off. Coupon code is WIN, WIN 2025, and that is the apostille course. Now, I want to talk about why you need training. Okay. Some people, and we had someone on here the other day, I hope they got through it well. Hopefully they can come on live and tell me what happened. I did try to give them some tips. Don't wait until you get the phone call and then try to learn how to do an apostille, guys. It's not rocket science, but if you've never did it before and you're asking somebody to pay you $200 or $300 to process something, you better know what you're doing. Okay. There's no other way to say it. You better know what you're doing. All right. So, the apostilles is my biggest income maker from one product, because I do many different services, but the apostille does pay what you see people talking about online. That's legit. So a lot of times I might say, oh, they just a YouTuber. No, when somebody says that they charge $175, $200 for, one job, $1,000 for a job, it depends on how many documents you have to ask your screening questions. So I go over all of that in the course, and I'll give you a few of them here because that's just what I do. I am that person. But you want to make sure, what country is it going to? How many documents do they have? So you got to ask a lot of questions, okay, in order to facilitate the apostille correctly, okay? You have to. So my apostille course will get you up and running. I was asked the other day, does the apostille course independently of the mentorship come with ongoing support? And it does not. But I truly believe once you do the course, you will be able to facilitate apostilles. How many of you are doing apostilles right now? Put a 1 if you are, and a 0 if you're afraid of them, you don't do them because you don't know how to, or you don't even know what it is. Put a 1 if you're doing them and a 0 if you're not. How many of you are doing apostilles? How many? Levon is doing them. Yesie's Corner saying no, not yet. Edwina, not yet. Char W, not yet. Terry Brown, not yet. What are you guys waiting on? So I got a lot of zeros and only one one. So tell me, why are you not doing apostilles? Are you afraid? You can tell me and we'll talk about it. Are you afraid? Lack of confidence? Just don't even know what it is? What is your fear of doing apostilles? We get a report from the state of Georgia, where I'm located. I teach nationwide, but I am in the state of Georgia. But do you know how to do them, Yessie's Corner? If you do get a call. Oh, I have no customers at all yet. Okay. Okay, Char W says she's not sure what it is. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that again really quick. So, we get a report though. That's what I was saying. We get a report either quarterly or so, and it tells us how many apostilles are requested through the Secretary of State, and there are hundreds of thousands that are requested. There are thousands. I want to say it was 100,000 last year. It might have been closer to 75. I just can't remember. Whatever the number was, I was like, I want to get a bigger portion of that, because I thought about even running ads to get more apostille work, because it's kind of going to depend on where you're located, right? Let me see some of the questions we have here. Answers rather. I'm sorry. So Shar says she's not even sure what it is. So let's talk about what an apostille is again, okay? So really quick, Shar, the apostille is a certification that goes on top of a document that is leaving the United States for another country. Okay, that's what it is. So the notary doesn't actually put the apostille seal on there. We just facilitated the go-between between the client and the Secretary of State and the government that it's going to, or the country that it's going to. So you don't actually put the seal on there, okay? Because sometimes notaries will call their Secretary of State office and say, hey, I want to be an apostille agent. And they're like, what are you talking about? So there's not a term. That's not a real term where you can look it up or something. It's not. It's a made-up term in the notary space, and that's what we do. And your clients will realize that's what we do. But again, you're not going to look in the dictionary and see not as of yet apostille agent. Okay, that's a made-up term. Or apostille facilitator. Okay, so that's what it is. And people do pay you good money to do it because they don't want to be bothered with it. So again, training is so important, because you start asking people, like I said earlier, for $200, $300, $800, $1,000 to do a job, and then you can't deliver. I always say you don't have to be a notary to be an apostille agent. You do not. But you should know how to properly notarize, because these documents have to be notarized. So if you're not a notary, you're going to have to hire somebody to do it, right? Or sometimes you need to know what the notarial process is in order to facilitate the apostille. Example, and I'll get back to some of your questions and comments. I had one recently, I talked about this last week, where the notary stamped the document correctly, but their notary stamp was expiring in 3 days. Okay. My client was getting married in Panama, so that document would not be valid in 3 days. All right. I asked my client, I said, hey, when are you getting married? Because he called me to be the apostille person. The other person didn't do apostilles. Right. So I had to know, as a notary, as an apostille agent, as an apostille facilitator, that, hey, this document is not going to be any good. So I had to have him print another document. I had to notarize it, and then we were able to send it and get it apostilled. So it's not just, I don't care what the other notary did, I'm just going to take it down there and be a courier. No, you need to make sure the document is executed correctly, or your client is going to have a problem, and you're going to look bad. All right? He wasn't mad at the other notary, because the other notary didn't know that, hey, this document is being used outside the country. He's getting married. He didn't even tell him all that, because he didn't see that the other notary did apostilles on his website either. That's another gem I'm dropping today. Make sure your website says apostille agent when you get ready to do once you learn how to do it. Now, don't put it on there and you don't know how to do it. Don't put apostille agent on your thing and then call me and say, how do I do it? Now's the time to learn before you put it on your webpage. But he didn't even have it on his page, so that's why the other The client didn't even ask him about doing apostille. So he called me to do the apostille. The other person did the notary. So I didn't charge him for the notary. I could have very well said, well, you know what? I have to re-notarize this document because the date is going to expire within 3 days, and then added more money. I could have added at least another 20. I could have charged him a whole notarial fee, my whole travel fee and everything, right? Because I was going there for one thing, but now the scope of the job has changed. So I always say once the scope of the job changed, now the price changed, okay? All right, let me get some of y'all comments. So Levon says, I'm only doing them for work, not outside of work. Oh, so you do apostilles at work. Well, let's get it. Well, you need to be doing it outside of work for a business, honey, if you already know how to do them. Monique Bell says, hey, Monique, next on my list. Did I say hello to Levon? I don't know, but hi, Levon. Monique says, next on my list, loan signing right now. Cool. Yeah, one at a time. You can't do everything. Not at the same time. Not at the same time. Yesie's Corner says, I have an idea, but still not confident. Yes, and it may come with training. Yesie's Corner. Have you received any apostille training at all? Because that is going to make a difference. I have found that, and that's one of those, I'll tell you the truth, out of all of the services that I offer, the one that caused me the most anxiety, the one that causes me still more anxiety than others, is the apostille. I can teach it. I can do them. I still just get anxious. I'm like, is it going to be approved? You know, you followed all the steps. You go in the office. You're waiting on them to put the seal on it. And you're like, oh, it's just kind of nerve wracking, right? The apostille process. It's just one of those jobs that, again, I don't care how many times you do it. You're always just like, I hope I did everything right, you know? So don't feel bad, because again, I started back in 2023 taking them very seriously. I knew what they were at 21, 22. I had an idea, but I didn't take it serious until 23. I had a goal. I think it was 23. If you go back and watch those videos, I said, I'm going to start doing apostilles this year, y'all. And I started. So I've been doing more and more. I've did my first couple DC ones, and everything's going well. Now, DC can be tricky. So I ain't even getting into all that, y'all, because we do not have time. But I did mention earlier that there are different levels of apostille. So just know that you got your level 1, level 2, level 3. That's what we call it around here. Terry Brown says, lack of confidence. I just received my notary license. Okay, Terry. Yeah, so take your time. And it's not really a notary license. It's a commissioned. We commissioned, not licensed. Okay. Just FYI. I want you to talk the lingo correctly. Okay. So notaries are not licensed. Notaries are commissioned. Okay. So I just want you to know the correct terminology. I know you didn't know, but that's why I'm telling you. That's a gem. Okay. That way you can walk the walk and talk the talk, you know. Also, another one along the lines, a lot of people say license. It's not notary publics. It's not notary publics. It's notaries public. Okay, which one is plural? It's notaries public, not public. Not notary publics. Okay, that's another little tricky one there. So these are just common terms that I want you to be skilled in your journey as a notary. So that's why I'm telling you this. Okay, another word you will hear is execute. To execute a document. Oops, I'm gonna have to put y'all on pause 1 second. Hold on. Hey there.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Nothing. I just wanted to say, you know, when you go to the lawyer's office, and if you have an illegal paper fixed out, he wants 2 or 3 people to sign it.
Yes.
All right. So now he's got it going. Now I want you to sign the paper with
him. Okay. I'll come back here and sign it. I got you.
I'm just aggravating. I'm gonna say
something.
I'm gonna say something so you remember me.
Okay.
All right. I just said it. You're you're
so funny. Right. Okay, I do remember. Okay. I'm gonna come and say bye in a minute.
Okay.
I promise.
All right.
You're so sweet. I'll be over in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Sorry, guys. I'm at a job, and I chose not to get out because because this man has it's not his dog. It's a dog across the street. So when Jeff come back, I got to get ready to go. so I can say bye. Let me say bye. So guys, I'm gonna have to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm sorry, but let me see. Can I get y'all questions right quick? Hey Lisa, work only. Levon says, I had one inquiry outside of work, but when they found out how much I charged, I never heard back. Followed up after 24 hours, they said they found a more reasonable fee. And that's gonna happen. Everybody is not gonna want to pay your price. That's just facts. That's just facts. But they'll pay somebody cheaper and they realize they got to get it redone. Okay, that's true too. They're gonna find somebody who don't really know what they're doing. So they might have paid $125, but they'll be back and have to pay you the $175. All right, is everybody leaving? Yeah. Okay, guys, so I gotta run. Yesie's Corner says, just saw your video on YouTube. I have no more money to invest. Okay, no worries, guys. Check out the mentorship. Wait, let me say bye. I have to say bye to my client. Okay, bye. I hate to be so abrupt, but I gotta go. Bye. Sorry, guys. Oh goodness. Okay.